Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I've got a few Ripple and XRP related stories to share with you in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam, which is how you say that. We'll start with this one from A&B Crypto. Here's what Ripple's CTO had to say regarding XRP's biggest success. That'd be none other than David Schwartz, who, by the way, is also the co-creator of the XRP ledger. Also got this headline. This is a fun one. XRP doubles as Ripple scores victory. XRP overtakes Ethereum on Google. Well, how about that? I thought that XRP was dead, though. Wasn't it going to zero? This must be some sort of false headline. What days? Is it April 1st? It's not April 1st. What the hell is going on? It's April 12th. Look at this. April 12th, the day this was posted anyway. What is going on here? Could it have been the case that all the Bitcoin maxi trolls and XRP haters out there were wrong? Oh yeah, what do you think? I do want to be clear at the outset, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast making some YouTube videos all up on the internet about Ripple and XRP and crypto, but that is all that is going on here. By the way, if I could just comment, like, if you are looking at your screen, do you see what I'm looking at right here? This is a sailboat. What the hell does this have to do with anything? Do you ever notice this? Like, when you go to I don't know, I guess maybe mainstream media does this too, but I was thinking specifically about crypto media. You'll go to their websites, and then there'll be a headline, and they want your eyes to gravitate towards the headline, so they'll have a picture associated with it. But very frequently, the picture has absolutely nothing to do with what the story is about. So here, we've got a story about Ripple CTO David Schwartz, co-creator of the XRP ledger, talking about XRP's biggest success, and we got a ppicture of an old-timey sailboat. Because reasons? I don't know. I had to point it out. I had to. You out there listening, I'm sure most of you have, or maybe if not most, some of you at a minimum have thought of this, and now you're going to notice it. Anyway, a couple of years back, Bill Gates had made a statement accrediting digital currencies to be the future of money. With technology getting refined every day, this statement seems to make even more sense now. In a recent interview, David Schwartz, who is CTO of Ripple, pointed out how newer systems will overtake the pre-established centralized frameworks when it comes to the world of currencies. Schwartz affirmed that digital assets were instigated at the right time. He was, however, skeptical if central authorities would opt for blockchain technology over the traditional payment systems anytime sooner. Well, and look, here's what I would say about that. Whatever the underlying technology happens to be, whether for central bank digital currencies, whether it's blockchain technology or something that's even super more awesome, or I don't care, whatever it is, whatever sort of innovations come out, it's not going to matter to the end user, not really, because in the end, the central bank digital currency, it's still going to have the same underlying monetary policy. And so there can be some benefits to it, especially for the government in terms of tracking, maybe in terms of filing taxes, or that maybe there'll be some efficiencies to be picked up there. But as far as outrageous money printing, this and that, like, none of that's going to change at all. But anyway, the piece continues here. So I'm going to butcher this name. Should I even try this one? Reza Bakir. Nailed it. Governor State Bank of Pakistan recently asserted that his nation was looking to embrace digital technology on the central level. In an interview with CNN, he said the following, quote, "Pakistan is a market that is waiting to burst as far as digitalization is concerned," end quote. Even though the progress isn't fast-paced, nations across the globe are adopting and injecting technologies that people like and want to use. That way, the digital marketplace has been able to carve a niche for itself and has become even more liquid in its evolution process. Now, Schwartz indicated that liquidity, along with input and output endpoints, would be commoditized in the future. Talking about the same, he said, quote, "The biggest success case for Ripple that I could imagine would be for us to be completely unnecessary." And by the way, the way that I thought about that when I first read that, it would be this idea that people really don't need intermediaries at all to move money around the planet. And so you could think, and this is what the Bitcoin maxis say too, they're like, what the hell do you need XRP for as a bridge currency? If you've got Bitcoin, you can just get rid of the intermediaries, just move Bitcoin from one person to the next. And sure enough, you could do that. Now, Bitcoin's slow and clunky, so it wouldn't be the one I'd want to use, because you could make the same argument for XRP. You don't need the intermediaries. We could all just hold XRP and use it. But the trouble, realistically, is how are you going to get every human on the planet to use one platform? Even if it's decentralized, how are you going to get every single human? Well, you're not. People are going to want to use different technologies for different reasons, and cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies, they don't by nature just interoperate. And so it's interesting to think that, even though the first proposed use case for a cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, was as a peer-to-peer cash system, that's what Satoshi Nakamoto wrote about in the Bitcoin white paper. Even though it was the first proposed use case, it may be among the actual last use cases ever actually adopted in the world. That could take decades to unfold, if ever. And I do think it could happen. It would probably happen where it's most organically, well, it would occur organically, but it would occur in perhaps, I don't know, imagine third world countries where fiat currencies are just experiencing hyperinflation, something to that effect. I could see organically, cryptocurrencies growing organically in terms of adoption if they're solving a real problem. But today, I'll tell you what, for me in the first world here, if I were going to use XRP or Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency to pay for stuff on a daily basis, you're adding friction to my life. You're making things harder. Why the hell would I want to do that? And there are tax implications because the governments aren't sufficiently friendly, at least in the United States, to crypto transactions just for purchasing stuff right now. So there's all sorts of reasons I wouldn't want to do that. But XRP makes sense absolutely as a bridge currency today, especially converting from one fiat currency to another here. But certainly in the future, it may be the case that there's less and less of this as people adopt digital wallets. And I could see that happen, but even that wouldn't necessarily be some sort of doomsday scenario for XRP, because even if we evolve to that, who says it's going to be something other than XRP that is used for that? Because if XRP is globally adopted as the standard for converting from one fiat currency to another among perhaps other use cases, well, that would mean that there are extremely liquid corridors. So if it's blazing fast already, might people ultimately adopt it to be used to do transfers themselves without Ripple? Well, if so, great. That's fine. I wouldn't mind. As an XRP holder, what the hell do I care? I want XRP to do well. So I don't think it matters at all. And then Schwartz also said the following, quote, "We're building technologies not so much because we want to build them, but because they're necessary for our success." End quote. Now, with NFTs becoming the talk of the town, Schwartz said that they were a part of the cryptocurrency lure. He was, however, optimistic about the technology and emphasized that it was here to stay. The NFT ecosystem doesn't pay heed to decentralization and censorship resistance. Highlighting the same, Schwartz said the following, quote, "NFT has a target market that's not super concerned about how the technology works. And to some extent, that's how it should be," end quote. Yeah, I would agree with that. I know how to use email, but I don't know how the hell SMTP works. I know how to use the internet, but I don't know how TCP/IP works. I just know it's the glue of the internet. It makes the network of networks possible, and I don't freaking care. I'm really not that interested in how the actual technology underlying blockchain technology works. I'm really not. I want to understand conceptually how it works, but not that. I don't really need to see how the sausage is made. What the hell do I care? I just want to understand it on a high level. I think that's what most people want. Anyway, piece continues. NFTs are gradually tapping into the collector vibe, and WWE is the latest one to take advantage of this digital trend. Schwartz also emphasized how huge practical problems could be potentially solved by NFTs in the future, and he said the following. "NFTs make the marketplace even more competitive. They commoditize the reach and give the customers the ability to pick the service that's best for them. They have the potential to solve real problems in the future." Yeah, and so I still think that there's something in NFTs, even if it's a bubble right now in the prices with all of the non-fungible tokens, which is probably the case. Everything's becoming a bubble. Things will pop and the market will figure that all out. So NFTs, I don't think they're going to go away, but I don't think it's clear which platforms are going to be the winners to offer non-fungible tokens, which is why to me it seems like kind of a risky proposition to be purchasing NFTs, because what if you purchase them, spend a bunch of money, and then the platform that you purchased it on ends up becoming defunct and nobody's really using it? That's a concern. But the market's going to figure all of this out. There will be winners, and then it'll be less scary on that front. And then there's this piece titled XRP doubles as Ripple scores victory. XRP overtakes Ethereum on Google. And so the huge chunk of this article is talking about legal actions. And I feel like those topics I've actually very sufficiently covered in recent videos on the Moon Lambo channel. There are plenty of hot jams exactly on that topic. So I'm going to pass over that. But I did want to highlight the portion where they were talking about just XRP related web searches here. Check this out. There are signs that the token is gaining momentum outside the usual circle of XRP evangelists, with a 650% rise in Google queries from users asking, why is XRP going up? You gotta love this. Per Google Trends data. By the way, then you want to know what the answer is? It's because it's following Bitcoin. That's it. Like, people are always looking to specifically what is setting it off. My gosh, it's just emotional. Here's the real answer. It really is just emotional buyers and sellers. It's human psychology pushing it. People are looking for some sort of fundamental reason. There almost never is one. The vast majority of the up and down action for XRP and every other crypto, to this point anyway, it hasn't really been fundamentally driven. It's just been people bidding against each other, emotionally buying and selling, and at some point a tipping point is hit, and then a price goes up just enough that a person notices it and like, oh, a little bit of FOMO, but then it goes even higher, and then the next person sees that, oh my gosh, even more FOMO, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out, and then so on and so forth, and then you get this parabolic takeoff. That's what's actually happening here. But, you get this question from people that are new all the time, and it's a fair question. So if you're new to crypto and you're asking, why is XRP going up? Why is Bitcoin going up? Any of this? Well, totally fair question. But that's why. It's not clear which cryptocurrencies are going to be the winners and losers over the long haul. And so, in general, the market's just moving in tandem here. And that'll change at some point. I just don't know exactly when. There are all sorts of people that were calling for that to change this cycle. There were tons of very popular analysts with hundreds of thousands of followers, including, for instance, Nicholas Merton, who I like. He's a very popular YouTuber, runs a YouTube channel called Data Dash. He was saying for the longest time, dating back years ago, that now that we had the ICO boom, all these coins are going to go to zero. You're going to have just a handful of cryptocurrencies that run up during the next market cycle. Well, here we are, the next market cycle. There are still over 8,000 coins, and everything's pumping, which is what I suspected all along. If you've been following my channel for the roughly 2.5 years it's existed, I've said that I've been skeptical of that, and the more times passed and the more clear it became that my skepticism was well-founded, I said, look, I don't see these coins all going to zero. I see they had the same pullback as Bitcoin, 80-90%, whatever, but they're still here. So I just don't buy into this whole thought process of they're going the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. But I do buy into the concept that eventually most of them will go extinct. I really do believe that. I just don't know when. But I believe that what's going to cause that is when there's sufficient clarity or increasing clarity around which cryptocurrencies deserve to be traded, and that would be based on what's actually solving a problem in the real world, which is why with XRP, I say as long as it continues to solve a real world problem, it's going to be here. And if it doesn't continue to solve a real world problem, it doesn't deserve then to be traded in perpetuity. It deserves to just go extinct like the dodo. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I have every bit of optimism I possibly could at this point that XRP is going to persist, but there's no way to know that for sure. Because it's not based on the fundamentals now, and we need to see if XRP adoption continues. Now, to this point, it has. And so I'm very bullish. I'm very optimistic on XRP. I'm just saying I don't know for sure what's going to happen over the next 1, 2, 5, 10 years, but it's a fun ride, isn't it? Right? So it's interesting to see all of this. But I guess I'll go ahead and wrap up there. It's just neat to see that XRP people are Googling it and looking into crypto. There's so many people new to crypto, and I'm sure many of you listening are new. I can tell that there's lots of new people to crypto. And my channel's been getting a ton of new subscribers as a result, and so really all sorts of YouTube channels having to do with crypto. And so welcome to the party. It's a fun time. The water is warm. Jump on in. Just be safe. Be careful, and inform yourself of what's going on to the best of your ability before buying and selling. Because I'm not going to offer you financial advice, but I will say just check your emotions at the door and inform yourself, and maybe you won't get wrecked. Maybe you'll have a good time. There's lots of opportunity here. There really is. All right, I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.